Today is a very special episode. We are celebrating 25 years of Attract Capital. My name is Sonia Bellum, and I am here with founder and CEO, Dave Barnett.
Hi, everybody.
So Attract Capital is a leading acquisition financing M&A advisory firm, and it is celebrating 25 years in business. Unbelievable. Dave, congratulations on 25 years.
Thank you so much. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but when I look back, having started it in the middle of the year 2000, it has indeed been that long.
Yeah, I mean, a quarter of a century. What does that feel like when you say quarter of a century? I've been around for a quarter of a century. What does that feel like to you?
It feels great because there's been so many interesting projects that we've had and so much that we've learned and so many companies that we've helped along the way that we've just absorbed a whole lot of information, and it has made us better able to help companies as they come to us now because we've been through the learning curve of 25 years is a really long time in the investment banking
Longer
business.
than most marriages, Dave, to be honest. And when you started it 25 years ago, did you ever think that it would become, Attract Capital would become what it has become today?
I wasn't thinking that far ahead. It was more I had this missionary zeal to evangelize mezzanine debt and to make it something that business people would be comfortable with so that they could take advantage of it and enact their growth visions. And so what I was really about is helping mom and pop founder-owned companies translate their visions into a capital structure that would work for them. And so mezzanine debt was the what I had proficiency with, and so I brought it to the market and said, hey, you should learn about this because this can really help you get to the next level. And people would say, well, how can it help me get to the next level? And then when I explained it to them, they really liked it, and so they started using it. And once they started using it, they usually wanted to get as much of it as they possibly could. There were a lot of family-owned, founder-owned businesses that were stranded. And I saw back in the late 90s that the banks were consolidating. And as they were consolidating, they were sort of leaving these smaller middle-market companies behind. They weren't addressing their needs, and they kept saying, oh, we're only going to do bigger deals, we're going to do bigger deals, we're going to do bigger deals. So you had these really strong middle market, family-owned, founder-owned companies that didn't know where to look. And whenever they wanted to do something strategic, like they wanted to do an acquisition, or they wanted to invest in a new product or a new region, all they felt that they could do was a private equity deal where, and so they would start talking to the private equity guys wanted to own their company. And they're like, we don't want the private equity. So the bank won't give us the money. The private equity wants to own the company. We're stuck. And so the genesis of what I thought I can do is help these people get unstuck and come up with a solution that would translate their growth vision into a financial structure that would give them the financial firepower they needed to go from 10 million in revenue to 100 million in revenue. Private equity has a role, and it's been a benevolent role largely, but it also has a very negative reputation because it's their way or the highway. And the people that I do work for, they want to own their own company and they want to grow it to the next level. They don't want to take orders. They don't want to work for somebody else. One of the things I did is I got a list of a couple hundred companies on Long Island, and I was cold calling them, offering them mezzanine financing solutions.
Good old cold calling. That's the hard way to sell.
And people thought I was a lunatic. And I guess I thought I was a lunatic, but I forced myself to do it. And a couple of people were kind enough to me and said, oh, send me something, fax something over to me, because that was back when we had faxes still.